Hi, this video tutorial will explain how to extend the editor by replacing controls to display certain attributes. So I've loaded the library example and I've created a book, and as you can see I'm using the standard layout of the ME editor. So what I want to do is replace the control displaying the title of a book, but only for the title, not for other string attributes, for example for the name in the use case. So to do that, I will create a new plugin, as all controls of the editor are replaceable via extension points. So I create a new plugin. I will name it just control. So I need two dependencies for that. Of course, I need a dependencies to the example model, and I need a dependency to the ME editor, like this. I'll save that. And now I will add the extension point. I will use the extension point of the ME editors. The ME editor offers 4 extension points. The first one is the one I will use to replace attribute controls and to add new attribute controls. The last one is the same, only for reference controls. The ME-link controls extension point allows to only replace the hyperlink part inside of the standard reference control of the ME editor. And the pages extension point allows to add new tabs to the editor. I will explain these two extension points in further video tutorials. So for now I will use the attribute control extension point. I will leave the standard name and the standard class name. I have to specify a type, and as the title attribute is a string attribute, I will use a string, and I will save that and create a new class. So I will remove that, and I will inherit that class from class abstract ME control, which is abstract model element control. Click on finish. So I have to implement 2 methods right now. The first one is the canRender method, and this method specifies whether this control is used to display a certain attribute. So whenever this is returning a value higher than 1, the ME editor will use it to display an attribute. Note that you can also that you could register multiple controls for a single attribute, and the one with the highest priority will be used then. So I will implement a check. First I want to get the feature out of the descriptor. So I will get it, model element. And I already know that this is an E attribute. Of course I would like to add some checks, but this is only an example. So we'll do like this. I will add a test. So now I have the attribute in hand, and now I can check whether the attribute is the one I want to replace. So first I will check if the model element is a book, and second I will check whether the attribute is the title attribute, and I will check that by comparing it to the attribute from the library package. And if these 2 conditions are true, I will return a value higher than 1. I will take 2. And if not, I will return the do not render constant. So now whenever an attribute is rendered which is of type book title, this control will be used. So second, I have to create a control to display my new control. I will just add a very simple label as an example. Of course, usually you would have to create your custom control here and use data binding and this stuff and update mechanisms to update it appropriately. So what I will do is, to show that you have access to the model element, I will set text of the label to the creation date of the model element, for example. Like this. Now, instead of the title, there should be a label displaying the creation date of the model element. So I will restart the application. Save that. Now we'll open the book. As you can see, instead of the title control or the standard text control of the ME editor, I've added a new control just displaying a label. This video tutorial explained how to replace controls in the ME editor. Please note that the layout of the ME editor will not be affected by replacing single components, so you can model independently replace single controls. Thank you for listening.